Hey guys, it's Harrison and welcome back to Awkward Sports History. We as fans love promotional giveaways at games. Teams know that if they give us free cheap crap with our ticket, we're 100% more likely to go buy a ticket and spend the night at the ballpark. Yeah, sure, most of us like to go to the game anyway, but sometimes you see that one promotion that just makes you want to drop everything and run out the door. Who needs to be doing homework at home when you can be at the ballpark and be one of the first 15,000 people to get an Evan Longoria drum rock and roller bobblehead or a Joe Madden gnome? But sometimes it's still worth it to just stay home. These promotions just don't cut it. It's easier and still more worth it to just watch it on TV and, buy that promotion on eBay a week or two later. And many teams struggling at the gate will result to this beautiful thing called desperation. They will try to think of something that is so outrageously specific that everyone has to go to the game that day. They cannot miss going to this game for any reason whatsoever. And because they were desperate, a lot of these promotions have a beautiful history of going wrong. One of them tried to take advantage of mankind's love for a specific drink: beer. Let's get into the nitty-gritty on this desperate promotion, shall we? The awkward history of 10-cent beer nights. Oh, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe down below. Have you ever seen that one Looney Tunes episode that has like the dancing frog with the hat?
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Well, there's a scene in it where the guy who's trying to make money off the frog cannot get people to come to the show. And he results to giving out free beer. And the second they offer free beer, there's people just running through the gates to this show. Well, here's the baseball equivalent to that, and it goes a lot worse. Let's go all the way back to June 4th, 1974. Richard Nixon was 2 months away from resigning from office due to the Watergate scandal. The #1 album in America was Band on the Run by Wings. Televisions and microwaves looked almost exactly the same, and if you didn't know what a word meant, I hoped you had one of these babies. The Cleveland Indians that season were struggling at the gate. How badly? Well, on April 23rd, they had a home game with a crowd of 1,400 people. And I had to double check that number to make sure it wasn't like 14,000. It was actually 1,408 people at this game. It was clearly more intriguing to either stay home or go to a bar. So teams had to decide, how are they going to make going to the ballpark more appealing than either of those two? They came to the conclusion that the best way to do this was to make drinking, specifically beer at the ballpark, the most appealing option. So, for one night only, the Cleveland Indians decided that the price of a beer would be exactly 10 cents. The Indians did set some guidelines. It would be a low point beer that cost 10 cents, which is about 3.2% alcohol. That's less than a bottle of Budweiser, I'm pretty sure. They would also set a limit on the number of beers you could buy at one time. I mean, this does make sense. They don't want you going and buying like 400 beers at one time, and it kind of limits you in how much you can drink. Okay, so you're probably thinking they did something reasonable, limited you to maybe 2-3 beers, get your money's worth while also restricting how much you can buy at a time. They did not do that. They actually let you buy up to 6 beers at a time. Cause being told you can buy a 6-pack at a time couldn't possibly go wrong, right? It 100% goes wrong. Okay, so I did the math. If you buy your first 6-pack before the game, and you buy one every inning after that, and they stop selling beer at the 7th inning, and tickets are about $3, which is what they were at that time online, for about $6, you can go to an Indians game and down the equivalent of 4 6-packs. Wow. Yeah, it's safe to say people wanted to go to this game, and the Indians couldn't even predict how many would actually show up. They thought about 12,000 people would show up, and the actual number ended up being 25,000. Let's see how the night went. Just so you know what's happening during the game, the Cleveland Indians are losing to the Texas Rangers 5-1 through the first 6 innings. However, you're wondering what's happening with the fans in the stands. I'll tell you. A woman ran on the field and started to flash the crowd. Some dude got naked and started streaking on the field. You have a father and son that started mooning everyone. Of course, stuff like this was going to happen. People are getting drunk and getting stupid. And it really doesn't help the Indians are losing because the crowd isn't just getting more drunk, they're also getting more pissed. I guess the term pissed drunk is really relevant here. The crowd started throwing objects onto the field when they didn't like what was happening. Rangers first baseman Mark Hargroves was pelted with hot dogs, was spit on, and was nearly hit by a bottle of Thunderbird. So at this point, there's clearly more than beer in the bodies of these fans. Someone threw even a live firecracker into the Rangers bullpen. I don't know what possesses someone to bring a firecracker to a game, but it clearly served a purpose that night. Despite the chaos, the game kept going. The Indians managed to tie the game in the bottom of the ninth with a winning run on second base. The drunken Cleveland fans might actually have something to celebrate after all, which, come to think of it, would probably lead to more celebratory drinking. Yeah, nobody's winning here. But the fans would never even have the chance to celebrate because of one fan's intoxicated decision that led to an actual riot that involved both fans and players alike. In the bottom of the ninth, a 19-year-old fan named Terry Yerkig ran onto the field and tried to steal the hat of outfielder Jeff Burroughs. As he tried to confront the fan, Burroughs tripped, leading to manager Billy Martin and the rest of the Rangers team to think that he had been attacked. The fed-up Martin and the rest of the Rangers stormed onto the field. Many of the players went armed with their bats in hand. The drunk fans responded by also storming the field, and the riot began. Many fans stormed the field with, and I'm serious when I say this, knives, chains, and clubs made of broken chairs. Realizing Rangers players might die, the Indians armed themselves with bats as well and started to fight the fans. One Indians player was hit by a chair, and the players started to run back to their dugouts and lock the doors behind them that led to the locker room. The umpires realized they were not going to be able to finish the game, so they declared that the Indians forfeited against the Rangers. Cleveland PD eventually showed up to restore order, and 9 people were arrested. There really isn't an aftermath to this story besides that this never happened again. Fun fact though, this would be the second of 3 games that Indians player Rusty Torres played in which fans rioting would cause the game to be forfeited. His first game was the last Washington Senators game ever where the fans rioted. After 10-cent beer night, he got to witness Disco Demolition Night in 1979, and I will definitely be doing a video on that event as well. But there you have it. That's the not awkward but more disastrous history of 10-cent beer night. Let me know your thoughts on this entire fiasco in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.